Let's take a look at the Raspberry Pi Pico running MMBASIC VGA performance. It's pretty impressive. Got a little piece of code here. It just has basically two lines in it. One that adds 1 to a variable I, and the second one that looks to see if it's less than 100,000. If it is, then it just loops until it gets to 100,000. Let's go ahead and run that code and see what we get for performance. Tick, 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 tick. Looks pretty impressive. Okay, so roughly 10 seconds. I don't know how many greater resolution than that. 10 seconds for 100,000 times through the loop, or 200,000 lines, or 20,000 lines per second. That's pretty darn good performance. Now, granted, this isn't a complicated instruction. I don't know if it would take longer to do something more complicated, but we could even check and find out if we wanted to. It would be interesting to see what Python does with the same simple benchmark. Okay, let's try the same benchmark with Python, running Thani for the IDE and MicroPython on the Raspberry Pi Pico card. Same code, basically a little bit different. It's a while loop, but it still would have two lines. It would have the add of I plus 1, and it would have the looking for less than 100,000. And it has good time functions for getting milliseconds, so we should be able to get a nice precise time. Let's see what we get. Alright, answer is 779 milliseconds. So instead of 10 seconds, it's taking less than 1 second. So looks like, give or take, that's 12 times faster in Python, MicroPython, than it is in the MMBASIC. But the MMBASIC is still pretty impressive. And of course, it depends upon the kind of applications you want to do, whether time matters at all. I like some of the advantages of the MMBASIC over the MicroPython. It's a trade-off back and forth either way. Maybe it's more in what you use for your daily driver. I write a lot of Python code in my daily work, so it might be easier to work there. I shouldn't have to look at reference documents nearly as often, but even here I had to go look for what the time function was on the MicroPython help page. So even that's no quick, you always know how to do something kind of a thing. Probably the best thing about not switching back and forth between languages is just you'll get yourself, unless you're really good at switching languages, you'll get yourself in syntax problems where you type from one syntax language to the other and you have to think for a second, oh yeah, I'm in Python, I got to put the colons in, or that sort of thing. Anyhow, just a quick video to look at the performance. I'm pretty impressed with the MMBASIC performance. It works quite nicely, and I think it would make a nice little test station for cards. I'm going to take a look at doing that. The Python would do it just as well, though, honestly. Maybe better. I don't know. If you want more information, you can see our wiki pages for these products, and we have YouTube videos on them as well. We have a store in Tindy where we sell all of our cards. Thanks for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.